Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Beau Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosson. Education is a cornerstone for strong, vibrant communities. I voted for the largest investment in education in Nebraska history. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Nebraska is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local family business owners and understand the valuable role of education in growing our community. This is Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to support education in the legislature. Vote Carolyn Bosson on November 5th, paid for by Bosson for Legislature.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Before you start blowing and raking leaves this season, make sure you know where they go. Yard waste is not garbage, especially in Lincoln, where it's converted into earth fuel compost. All grass clippings and leaves must be separated from household trash from April 1st until November 30th each year. It's the law. Yard waste belongs in a paper lawn bag, or you may request a bin from your trash hauler who will pick it up for a small fee. Remember, no trash or branches are allowed in yard waste. Get the details at lincoln.ne.gov/recycle.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, into the Adam Carriker Show. I'm having my daily fight with the microphone, although today I can see it for some reason. I don't know why that is, Jake. There was a day last week when I could not see it very well, although I do think the microphone is still winning, but that's okay. Welcome to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket, ladies and gentlemen. The loaded show. Like you get two shows in one. I talk so fast. All right. The show that gives you unique insights, unbridled honesty. And I had a fan message me about this. When Jake is awake, we have a whole lot of fun together. She goes, I forget what she said. I got to get back to her, but it's something to the degree of I have ideas and this and that. Maybe this will help even keep Jake awake. What are your thoughts on that, Jake? Fans taking shots at you. Don't take that crap.
Oh, that's fun. I think it might be because you started it. So
I did start it.
Point the finger.
Hey, you got 3 pointing right back at you.
That's
All
right.
right,
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, live, noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. Come join yours truly. Grab your lunch. Join me. We'll talk Husker sports in general, and a little bit of life as well from time to time. Wednesdays, don't forget about Steve Taylor, noon to 1 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays. 5 days a week, noon to 1, the loaded hour, the loaded show, whatever we're going to eventually call this show. Here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, speaking of the fans, obviously we got some news to get to today. Hey, we broke it here. Now, it was Mikey Daniels that told us, but we were on air, so we were the ones that broke it, that Dana Holgorsen was in Lincoln, and he was going to be doing something on staff now. It had not been confirmed yet, but we are the first ones who threw it out there as a possibility. So I want 100% of the credit, not you, not Mikey, me. I want it, because I said it. Now, I did tell Mikey, when the show was over, I said, if this turns out to be not true, I'm throwing you under the bus. And he just smiled. He knew it was true. So I appreciate Mikey helping us out with that. We just happened to be on air, but we did break it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Pete Thamel, ESPN, right? That's who he works for?
I can
I've got the tweet here.
Yeah.
Hold on. I saw the tweet this morning, but it was Pete Thamel who did put out Dana Holgorsen. All right, is officially, he was in town, Lincoln yesterday in town. And he said, here we go. Sources, Nebraska is adding former Houston and West Virginia head coach Dana Holgorsen on staff as an offensive consultant. He'll work with the offensive staff in a role that will evolve. I thought that was quite interesting. Will evolve as the season goes on. I wonder what that means for the rest of the season, maybe into the offseason. We'll see how that unfolds. So we got some news to get to. You know, Matt RHULE, I got some thoughts as well. Just there's some decisions that need to be made. And I know he wants to make the right decision, not just rush to a decision, but I feel like some decisions are very simple. Glenn Thomas calling plays, just give it a shot, or, but we're bringing in outside consultants, which yesterday I sat here and I was like, I don't hate that idea. I love the fact that it's not about ego. We want to get it right. But it was pointed out to me, these guys are getting paid an awful lot of money and we already need outside help. And I was like, oh, that's a fair point as well. But my question that I was wondering about is Matt RHULE having a tough time making some of these coaching decisions? Like a simple one, like, hey, nobody has to be demoted. Nobody has to move position groups. Nobody has to get fired. Just go ahead and you're going to call plays. Let's give it a try. Let's see how the bye week goes. Let's see how USC goes. By the way, USC is starting a different quarterback because they're under 500. They're losing close games.
And they have a bit of an identity crisis out there if you follow what the Trojans are doing. So they're going to try to use this bye week to right the ship. Nebraska is going to try to do the same. The question is, which school's going to right the ship during the bye week and get things figured out? But before we get to all that, because I didn't address any of it just now in any way, shape, or form, I did say yesterday I wanted to chat real quickly. All right. And this was chatted about yesterday, so we'll talk about it briefly because I said I would talk about it yesterday on the show. I like to be a man of my word. Colin Miller, former black shirt, former team captain. He was the scout team MVP when he first got here on defense. And he came in under Riley, then he was under Frost. Kind of wasn't very happy with the fans, took some shots at the fans. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I also like to honor my word. My thoughts are this. Hey, I don't agree with his take. He's earned the right to express his opinion. We're all entitled to our opinions. He wore the N. Much love and respect. Nobody's opinion is more valuable than others, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's his. He wasn't too happy with the fans on Saturday. My thoughts are we have not put a product on the field that many people have been happy with for quite a while. Maybe not anybody. Honestly, probably not anybody's been happy with. 2016 is maybe the last time Husker fans were decently happy, and that's a long time ago. That's 8 years ago, getting close to a decade, yet Husker fans keep showing up. It doesn't matter if it's UCLA, if it's Ohio State, if it's Timbuktu U, it doesn't matter what the record is. Husker fans are showing up. And the other thing that I appreciate, because the other option is apathy, and I've talked about that before. I appreciate the passion. And there's frustration, but there's passion, and Husker fans genuinely care. I can't get the image of USC Penn State out of my mind. I brought it up multiple times because two of the top 15 most recognizable brands in the entire country, one of the most highly watched games that weekend, October 12th, and they zoomed out of the stadium there, and it was like maybe 2/3 full. So Husker fans, to me, they mean a lot to me. They make the atmosphere inside Memorial Stadium when I played unlike any other place. There aren't many places I can think of that realistically even came close. When we played at Texas or we played at Oklahoma or we played even in the league, there aren't many places that come close. The only places that I could think of that were even similar was Texas A&M, Seattle. By the way, two places to brag about a 12th man. Both those places talk about a 12th man. And KC, but that was a preseason game, but it was the loudest preseason game I'd ever been in my life. It felt like a highly intense regular season game, but Husker fans, truly, the facts bear it out, are unlike any other fan base out there. So I just want to quickly address that because I said I would yesterday, but let's talk about Dana Holgorsen. This is a guy who's been a head coach at Houston, West Virginia. He's been an offensive coordinator, been a quarterback's coach. He is an expert when it comes to the air raid offense, when it comes to throwing the football. All right. He learned under Mike Leach. All right. He's had a lot of really good quarterbacks that have played for him. Let me see. Took a couple of notes on that. He's worked over the years, with a slew of top quarterbacks as a coach and coordinator. Graham Harrell, who set a bunch of records at Texas Tech at the time. Case Keenum, who set a bunch of records at Houston, went on to play in the NFL. Brandon Weeden, this is a guy who's a first-round draft pick. Geno Smith, who's still playing, a second-round draft pick. A lot of people thought would go first in the first round, but he's still playing, resurrected his career, so shout out to him. And Will Greer, this is a guy who's had a lot of success coaching quarterbacks, calling offenses, especially when it comes to throwing the football. All right. These are some of the school records set by Holgorsen when he coordinated at Oklahoma State during the 2010 season in particular. All right. 6,451 total yards that season, which broke their old record. They set 5 records in just this season alone. I went to Wikipedia, honestly, pull it up. This is one of the first things that just popped up. Scoring, they scored 539 points, passing yards, 4,253, pass attempts, had a lot, 491, pass completions, 332. Obviously, the more you throw the ball, the more you're going to pad those stats, but this is a guy that brings some things to the table. He was at TCU, and he's being brought in as an offensive consultant. And it's going to evolve over time. At least that's what we're being told. But he was at TCU as a defensive consultant. He was actually working with the defensive staff, and he was kind of informing them, hey, this is how I would attack what you're doing on defense from an offensive perspective, which is a great way to look at it. Now he's here in Lincoln. Now he's on staff. And I'm looking forward to see seeing what we can do better these past 3 games. All right, a little bit. It's interesting because sometimes I feel like on offense we get a little bit too cute. We almost try to outthink ourselves. But if I look at it from a defensive perspective, I feel like we're fairly basic to defend. And I say that with all due respect. But there's simple things that you can do that look complex to a defense. Michael Severe came on this show, talked about bunches, talked about motions, yo-yo motions. These things are very common in football. They create issues for defenses, but they're not uber complex. A lot of people do them, and we don't do them very much, if hardly at all. So for me, I feel like sometimes we overthink things, and it doesn't really add complexity to the defense that's trying to defend us. It just adds complexity to what we're trying to do on offense, which makes it harder for us to do, and yet not harder for them to defend. Yet simple things that we could do that can make it more complex for the defense that isn't uber complex for the offense. I feel like we could do more of those things. Did I explain that like halfway right, Jake? Did that make sense? Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I love you, Jake. Did that make sense though?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think it just feels like they get cute at the wrong times, like that East-West play they were running with Jalen Lloyd at the goal line. Like that's trying to get too cute, but it's not altogether too creative.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What are your thoughts on Mr. Holgorsen and him being brought in? And this was a guy, am I remembering correctly? He was actually brought in and was talked about a lot last winter at a certain point. Is that not correct as well?
Yeah, they brought him to town in early January.
That's right.
But nothing really came around to that. And so it's kind of weird. He's been the analyst at defensive analyst for what it was to help the offense, like the look of what the offense is going to bring you at TCU. TCU runs an air raid, by the way. I like it. I think it's good. Also brought in Phil Snow in town. I don't think he's necessarily, I don't know if he's hired as a consultant because he's also working with the Bears right now. So I'm not sure if that's maybe a bye week thing or whatnot. But I think it's interesting. It's at least somebody that has more wins actually than Matt RHULE as a college head coach. And so, it's I like it because it's somebody that is definitely, been through a lot in college football and hopefully can help this offense if for whatever that is to somehow get a spark. Now, if you're a run the ball guy, he's not necessarily doesn't, line up with that.
Maybe not up your alley so much.
Yeah.
But hey, when you think of RHULE, and unfortunately him, kind of regressing the past month, hasn't thrown a touchdown in a month, and I believe he's had 5 INTs. I'd have to double check to confirm that, but 5 INTs during that same time frame. He's regressed. He looks, I don't want to say lost, but he does not look the same as he did early on in the season. And he missed. There was actually some open guys versus UCLA, and he even admitted he skipped his first read on one of those plays that ended up being an interception, I think, or an incompletion on a 3rd down. Thomas Fedoni was wide open. He chose to throw it to somebody else, and it didn't work out. But Thomas was his first read. He skipped that read, and it's again, you don't know what you're going to get from a true freshman quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and get on a true freshman 19-year-old quarterback. I don't know when his birthday is. Maybe he's 20 now. I actually looked up before the season. Is he still a teenager? And he was. I don't remember what his birthday is to know if he's still a teenager, but I'm not going to put a lot on him. That will evolve over time. Okay, this time next year, hey, you'll have 20 starts under your belt. Like the expectations are different. Now it falls a little bit more on you than it did as a freshman. And the 2 years from now, he'll have like 30 or whatever starts. It's going to be a lot different. Still, the coaches got to be held accountable. Right now, it's on the coaches. They haven't used Harburg, in my opinion, correctly when they bring him in. It's way too freaking obvious what they're going to do. And they put too much on RHULE, and obviously he's not improving. So did you look up his birthday by chance?
Yeah, it's in May. He's 19.
So he still is a teenager. So for me, maybe Holgorsen is a guy that can come in and help specifically at the quarterback position. All right, because the quarterback position is obviously very important, and you need a young, talented quarterback to be progressing in the right direction, not regressing, obviously, in the opposite and or wrong direction. All right, I got one final thought here. When it comes to Matt RHULE, I feel like he's having a hard time, and maybe he just wants to be, for me, I don't mind being the last person to do certain things. When there's breaking news, sometimes I'm the last person to talk about it because I try as much as I can. Nobody bats 1,000, but you try to have the highest batting average you can. I try to be as accurate as I can, knowing that something is true or being as informed as I can. And again, you don't always get it right. But I don't mind being slow to those things. I don't mind being slow when you start talking about people's jobs. I may be towards the end of it when it comes to those things. And it's because of things that I've experienced, things that I've seen with friends of mine, like their livelihood, their job, what they've spent their whole life to, how they put food on the table. It depends on this. And so if you're going to talk about something like that, I don't mind being slow to that conversation. When it comes to Matt Rhule, maybe he's taken that approach to this. I just feel like the move to try to let somebody else be a play caller, Glenn Thomas, even Matt Rhule, he's been an offensive coordinator in the past. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's such an easy thing to just try and just put out there and just, try something different. When I went through Marcus Satterfield's offenses in the past, there was only one offense in all the years he's been an offensive coordinator that was top 50 percentile in the country. A lot of the rest of them were like 90th, 100, 106, 120th when it came to yards per game, points per game. His offenses tend to have a lot of turnovers. One year, his offense was 40th in total yards, and that was it. So we kind of know what he is, all right? And I wonder if it's hard for Matt Rhule because he's probably friends. He's coached with him at Temple and Baylor and the Panthers and now here at Nebraska. But I can't help but wonder, now he's bringing in these outside consultants. Is that a way of saying, hey, it's not entirely on me to make this decision? And I don't want to say he's avoiding making hard coaching decisions, but it feels to me like it's a little too hard for him than I feel like it should be. And this is part of, making $8-9 million a year, being one of the top 20 highest paid coaches in America. This is part of the gig. It's part of the job. Some things are so obvious right now. All right. To me, it's beyond obvious. And I know there's going to be an evaluation period during the bye week, the rest of the season. Things will inevitably happen during the off season. But for me, we need someone different calling the plays. That seems like the most obvious, simple thing that is, in my mind, it's inexcusable why it's not happening. And then other things can evolve over time, other changes that probably need to take place as well. But for me, I'm just like, man, you got to be able to make these decisions. And you can't be putting it off. You can't be putting it on to somebody else. Like, Matt Rhule is a smart, intelligent dude. He has a strong will. I don't question any of that. Part of me wonders if he's a little too close to some of these coaches and it makes it just that much harder. I mean, is that something that's ever crossed your mind, Jake?
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been here before with several different coaching staffs, and that's just kind of the way it is in the coaching business. Like, people will see, okay, you bring in people that you've worked with before, they're your friends. Well, they're also people that you trust. You can get going from ground one, day one, you got the same terminology, all that stuff. So there's a way that it makes sense. But then there's also, it can be frustrating when somebody like that struggles. And so you've got to be able to make the decision, and hopefully we'll see with Matt Rhule, and hopefully more than anything, it just changes altogether and the offense gets going. But we might have to see down the line, and people will say, well, he cares too much about his friendship, that he's not going to, that he's going to risk his job. And I don't know if that necessarily will land true, or it usually doesn't land true with the coaches because there's so many other friendships and relationships, and particularly money, your job on the line. Yep. And friends can understand too. If I don't do a job well enough, a friend asks me to do a job and I don't do it well enough, and I can see it. Like, Satterfield would, I think, if it did come to that, would say, okay, well, I mean, I scored 18 points per game. I need more than that.
Some people aren't like that, though.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to. I'm not saying that about anyone on this staff. I'm not saying it. I don't know that. I'm just saying my experience is some people will take the approach you just outlined. Not the majority. Not the majority. They're going to be like, we're friends. Well, how could you do this to me? Like, that's how most people, when in situations I've seen like this in the past, and to be clear, this is situations I've seen in the past, a lot of them, the majority probably react like that. I will say this. If you're hiring friends, and this is just us talking, nothing else makes sense to me as to why this move isn't being made, I guess. But so there's someone I do business with and we were friends with before it. And my biggest, he's intelligent, he's smart, he's trustworthy, no hesitation except for one thing to get in business with him. We were friends. I do not like mixing business with family or business with friends. And we had a sit down conversation. I was very blunt and honest, and he was too. And we were very upfront. 10 years later, it's still working out well. Like, when his business is business, the rest of the time it ain't brought up. But my point is, we knew the risk we were taking. And it was a calculated risk. It's worked out well for us in this particular scenario. There's been other scenarios. Oh my God, no, it ain't worked out that well. Which is why I was much more like upfront in this particular one. And when you hire friends as coaches, there's pluses, there's minuses, there's a trust. You're going to have each other's back when things get tough, et cetera, et cetera. But if it comes down to it, you knew the risk. All right. If a tough decision has to be made, you knew the risk when you hired quote unquote friends or people you've known for a long time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kenny Wilhite, former black shirt, on staff at Nebraska. Let's see, 9 years going into 2022 and 7 years as a Huskers Director of High School Relations. All right, Mr. Kenny Wilhite will be joining us in studio. We'll see you shortly.
The McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Liverpool beat Brighton 2-1, and then Man City fell to Bournemouth also 2-1. On Sunday, Tottenham defeated Aston Villa 4-1, and then Man United and Chelsea tied it 1-1. You can catch all these matches and more at the McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and B.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Across Nebraska, voters will have the chance to end the current government abortion ban. The government shouldn't be making decisions for families' health care, but right now they are. Ending the ban takes 2 votes. A vote against 434, the first initiative, and then a vote for 439, the last initiative. It's only this combination that will finally get the government out of the personal medical decisions of Nebraska families. Voting against 434 and for 439 ensures that when there's a medical emergency, it's Nebraska families who decide what to do, not the government. This vote against 434 and for 439 makes it so our Nebraska doctors can treat every patient. The government put this ban in place, stripping Nebraska families of their freedom, but you can end it with 2 votes. The first against 434, and then vote for 439. Paid for by Protect Our Rights.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Bryant at 402-467-1111 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-467-1111.
Post Malone is teaming up with Raising Cane's to empower the next generation of artists. For a limited time, 2 exclusive double-sided Post Malone posters are available at Raising Cane's. So post up your combo at Cane's while supplies last and support a good cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. This goddamn mic. All right, it works. All right, here we go. Segment 2 of the Adam Carriker Show on the Ticket is sponsored by our good friends at Mulberry Barbecue at 11th and Cornhusker. Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, try their delicious burnt-end sandwich, a brisket burrito, barbecue nachos, and a full slab of ribs, a half-smoked chicken, and much, much more, plus incredible sides. Get fueled for your lunch today or make dinner plans at Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, located at 11th and Cornhusker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special treat today. I am joined by a former Blackshirt, all Big 8 performer. He was with the Huskers for 9 seasons on staff as well, 7 as their director of high school relations, Mr. Kenny Wilhite. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, brother. How are you?
Dude, life is good. I'd be great if Nebraska was winning, but life is good. I can't complain. All right, man. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on what's going on with Nebraska so far this year, what's going on with the offense. But the first thing I want to do, I want to get your reaction to something. All right, you got that 11-second clip. So I texted Jake last night. It was sent to me. I said, Jake, is this for real? Is this a real clip? And he got it confirmed by Rico. Okay, so go ahead and play this 11-second clip from RHULE's press conference on Monday.
All right, the question was asked from your perspective, what isn't working on the offense?
It's a great question.
Well, now what's your reaction to that, Kenny?
I cringe.
Yeah.
The laugh makes me cringe.
I was surprised.
I was shocked.
He's always got an answer.
Always.
So what do you take from that?
Whew, I'm like him. I'm gonna take a deep breath. And
go ahead.
And I don't have an answer. I truly don't have an answer because you're in year 2, week 10, and you get asked a question and you legitimately don't have an answer.
Which is crazy, especially for a guy who is very good in front of the microphone. He always has an answer.
So we think.
Well, he'd always got, okay. Well, yes, that is true. But you look at and this is before the Dana Holgorsen news was announced today. We have 3 guys on this staff who've been offensive coordinators. RHULE, Satterfield, Glenn Thomas. We have 3 guys on this staff who have been quarterbacks coaches at one point in time or another. RHULE, Satterfield, Thomas. Why do you think we are without so many answers on offense when we have this type of experience? And I'll save the RHULE question for next. Why do you think we're without so many answers at this point?
It's hard to put my finger on because like you said, we have 3 guys with coordinator experience.
Yeah,
3.
Calling plays. Yes.
Designing plays, studying defenses for as long as they've been doing it. I know Satterfield was a head coach once. RHULE's been a head coach.
Yep.
So if you have three guys, a three-headed monster, you would think they would come up with solutions, and they haven't.
Yeah, Dana, and obviously he just got here.
Yes.
Okay, he made a quick trip last January, but not much came of it. Comes now from TCU, another guy with head coaching experience, coordinating experience, quarterbacks coaching experience, air raid specific. What type of an impact do you think he can make? And they said offensive consultant, and that role is going to be evolving as time goes along. What kind of impact do you think he can make?
It's week 10. You have 3 games left. He can't make an impact. There's nothing he can do. It's not like he can wave a magic wand and fix it overnight.
They wanted him on staff in preparation for what they need to do in the offseason. Is that what you think?
That's the only way I can look at it because, again, you're in week 10. You have 3 games left. Scheme-wise, if you try to overhaul that whole offense.
Oh, you can't do
that.
You
can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Now it's different verbiage,
Mm-hmm.
different language, different checks. You can't do it in 3 weeks. There's nothing you can do in 3 weeks. Now he can. My thinking is, my mind behind it, my thinking is you bring him in, he studied defenses, he gets you prepared for the game next week.
So maybe that's his role for now.
That's his role for now. He's studying defenses and getting ideas to slide to Sat and RHULE for the next opponent. That's the only thing I can think of. Because when you bring in a consultant this late in the season,
mm-hmm.
that question they asked him,
mm-hmm.
that's the same answer.
Yep.
That's what I think. That's a good question.
Man, that was just, and I had a lot of fans message me and say, RHULE seems deflated. He seems down. I get that, and I see that. I think he is very open. I think he is very honest, and I do appreciate that.
Sometimes he's too honest.
Sometimes you could argue he's too honest.
Sometimes he shares too much.
What do you think he shouldn't share?
Like when he said that championship DNA. You know what I mean? Sometimes you keep something close to your belt. Even the comments about players, you don't share that publicly.
What specifically?
Players need to play. Players need to do this. Players need to do that. You don't do that publicly. If you're going to do that, you do that at the beginning of the year, not the 10th week of the season. Because now, if I'm a player and now all of a sudden I'm hearing those words, not saying all players play hard, but if I'm playing hard and I'm giving my all and I'm hearing those words,
mm-hmm.
it happened previously.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's immediately what I thought of. Yes.
It happened previously.
Yeah.
I was with 3 regimes, Bo, Riley, Frost. Bo was good.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 started blaming players.
Frost did it quick.
Yes.
He did it like right out the gate.
Right out the gate.
And I remember thinking, what are you doing?
He
flat out said, these aren't my players.
You're going to lose them.
Yeah, what are you doing?
When coaches say that, when they take over and they say, these aren't my players, I don't agree with that. And I'll give you an example. When Tony Samuel called me, he took the head job at Southeast Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
We got there, and he said, first thing he said was, guys, these are our guys. These are our guys. We took this job. These are our guys. We're never going to say these aren't our guys. We're never going to say, wait till we get our guys in here.
Mm-hmm.
We never. Those are words we weren't allowed to use. And going into the season, you had upperclassmen that had been there, felt entitled, and there was one that I knew. I grew up with his dad, and I had the heart-to-heart conversation with him. We were getting our heads bashed in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Tony said, "Man, let's just take our lumps, play those young guys." So I called him in my office. I said, "Listen, bro, you're not getting it done. I love you. You're like a nephew to me, but I got to play these young guys."
So that's a question because, so part of me thinks that RHULE was not necessarily trying to call out the players, although it definitely came across that way.
I didn't say he called them out, but it came across that way.
I don't think that was his intent.
That may not have been his intent.
I think he was just saying, don't put all the blame on Satterfield. I think that's what he was trying to say. And he was almost trying to stick up for Satterfield more than call out the players. But people can take that various ways, including, hey, he's calling me out if I'm a player, potentially.
Yes.
All right, man. So talk to me about Dylan Raiola, uber talented, started off the year playing really, really well. At one point, we had 9 touchdown passes to 3 INTs. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. That's really good. Completing over 70% of his passes. I think it was like 72% at one point. the past month, I already talked about the stats earlier. Don't need to go through them again. Obviously regressed in an opposite direction. Probably not much Dana can do over the next month, but what are your thoughts, over the next month going into the offseason? If Dana is retained in some way, shape, or form on staff, he's an air raid guy. He understands throwing the football. How can he help Dylan? Or is Dylan, let's be honest, trying to look towards the NFL, and he's like, hey, maybe air raid doesn't equate to NFL success, or am I overthinking this?
If I'm Dylan,
yeah,
I'm a freshman. I'm not thinking about the NFL right now.
Okay. I hope not.
I say that, but you know how this this generation is. But as a freshman, I am not looking at the NFL. I'm going to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, am I getting the best of my potential? Am I doing what's asking me? Now, is he doing what's asking him? I bet he is.
Yeah, I think so.
I bet he is. I bet he's studying film. I bet he's in there watching film. He's studying his opponent. He probably knows the offense maybe better than some of the offensive coaches. You know what I mean? Because of his preparation. The thing I see is he's a freshman. Now you're getting in the meat and potatoes of the Big Ten.
Yep.
The schedule's not easy anymore. Now there's different looks you're going to get. People have film on you. They're studying you. Where's his weakness? What is he lacking? Can he read coverages? So they have film on him now. So now they're able to exploit some of his weaknesses. Now him as the player I think he is, he's going to see that and he's going to learn from that and he's going to make adjustments. Mechanically, I think he needs to work on mechanics more.
Yes.
He needs to, and maybe Dana can help him with that. But I say that, and you've had a quarterback's coach here for the last 10 weeks.
Yes, that is correct.
Right?
And before, just a different guy. But
just a different guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to revert back to a certain other quarterback that was here under the previous regime. And I saw his mechanics slowly get bad.
Can we just say Adrian?
Yes.
Okay. We can just say it. That's fine.
And it was never corrected.
Yeah. And that's not on him, is it? That's not on the player.
That is not on the player.
No.
That is on the coach.
Especially a young player.
Especially a young player. If I saw a DB continue to take false steps, I'm going to correct that.
That's on the coach.
That's on the coach. If I tell you to lead with your back foot and you continue to move your front foot, I have to correct that.
All right, we got to play the Tomlin clip because it's perfect. So Kenny actually sent me this clip last night. So Mike Tomlin, most everybody knows who Mike Tomlin is, but just a little bit more background. He has coached in the NFL now for 26 years. He's a Super Bowl winning champion. He has the most consecutive non-losing seasons in NFL history, which has now reached 17 consecutive seasons, including this year. And he's been the head coach of the Steelers for this since 2007, so about 17 years now. So this is about a minute clip that Kenny sent me this morning that I had already seen, but I'm glad he sent it to me.
I love to hear coaches resist the responsibility of coaching.
What'd you say, Coach?
Because they're easy to beat.
What'd you just say, Coach?
I love coaches that resist the responsibility of coaches, that talk negatively about a dude that can't learn and blah, blah. Man, if everybody could learn, we need less coaches.
Yeah, that's real.
Right? If the group didn't need management, then we wouldn't make as much.
Yep.
I love reading draft evals and somebody's talking about anything other than pedigree, talking about how poor somebody's hand usage is. Well, that's coaching.
Right.
I don't run away from coaching. I run to coaching.
Love it.
It all is in line with that not seeking comfort, because when you're a coach that's talking about somebody can't learn, you're seeking comfort because your teaching is struggling.
So Kenny, because you said this kind of made you think of what's going on at Nebraska now when you sent me the message. So what made you think of Nebraska when you heard this?
Because I continue to see guys make the same mistakes over and over and over. And again, Tony Samuel used to say, you either teaching it or allowing it to happen. And that's why I made the point. If I saw a DB continue to take false steps, I have to correct it. If I see a receiver that can't get off a block or can't get off a press coverage, I have to correct it. If I see a DB that cannot get off a block, I have to correct it. And if he continues to show me that he can't do it physically, then I got to find somebody else. Again, like Thomas said, I didn't run away from coaching. You don't run away from coaching because, again, you put players in position to be successful. And that's another thing Tony said. Let's put these guys in position so they can have success.
What you just said, I couldn't have articulated better. So my question is this, because RHULE is known for developing players. So obviously technique and in the weight room and all that stuff is part of developing players. For me, well, I'll ask you, do you think it's more on RHULE? He is the head coach, so the buck's got to stop somewhere. Or do you think it's more on the individual position coaches, like whether it's the wide receivers coach or the O-line coach or whatever the case may be? Is it more on the position coaches or on the head coach as a whole then?
It's on the position coaches to get it corrected.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tony would say, your players are a reflection of you. So and again, it goes back to accountability. If that position continues to do the same thing over and over and over, and it hurts the team, now you have to address the coach.
So for me, being a college football coach in today's day and age is so difficult. You gotta be recruiting non-freaking stop.
Yes.
Your own locker room. You gotta be basically analyzing and recruiting everybody across the country, which is why there's now GMs in college football. And then you got to recruit and evaluate high school kids. And then you got to try to coach and game plan, which is why you have to entrust that. I agree with you. The assistant coaches to do those things. Now, like you said, if the assistant coach isn't getting it done, you either got to get different players, or over time, the head coach has to assume responsibility for the assistant coaches that he has. And he's either got to make a change, or it's just purely on him either way.
The players make coaches, but coaches also make players.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. So I think we're talented enough to win football games. I think we have enough talent to win football games, especially the games that we've lost.
Yes.
So week 10, again, I'm going to go back to this. Week 10, you're bringing in consultants on both sides of the ball. I'm not trying to speculate, but that should tell you something.
It's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign. So I actually want to talk to you about the talent on our team, because recruiting and high school relations was something you did a lot at the University of Nebraska. We're going to take a break, though, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of health care, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th, paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bosson. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosson on November 5th. Paid for by Bosson for Legislature.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneer Pioneers Boulevard.
Is your phone system holding you back? We know how important smooth, reliable communication is for your success. Whether your team is working from the office or on the go, you need a phone system that keeps up with your busy day. At Hamilton, we offer business phone systems that adapt to your needs, making every call clear and every connection simple. Upgrade to a Hamilton business phone system where advanced features meet unmatched reliability. Are you ready to transform how you communicate? Better phones, better business. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting wefixbasements.com or call 402-804-1024. At Foundation Repair, we fix basements.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best boxers on Saturday, November 9th with Vertex at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now's the perfect time to go with Nebraska football on a bye week. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the boxers and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com. Are you or someone you love struggling with substance use? The Bridge Behavioral Health in Lincoln offers outpatient therapy for those 19 and over. The Bridge is conveniently located in the South Haymarket and near city bus lines. With payment options through insurance and a sliding fee scale, services are available for any adult 19 and over seeking help. Call 402-477-3951 to learn more or schedule your appointment today. The Bridge Behavioral Health is a local substance use treatment facility offering hope and a solid foundation for recovery through substance use treatment and behavioral health interventions.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
The bell rings and the school day starts. The future of our fiber hoods lies in their hands. That's why Allo Fiber invests in schools, students, and the next generation of leaders. If you sign up for Allo service between now and December 31st, Allo will donate $50 to the school of your choice. Joining the Allo Fiber family isn't just about crazy fast, reliable internet. It's about giving back to your local community and investing in what matters most. Switch to Allo today and we'll donate $50 to your chosen school. Visit allofiber.com/education to make a difference now.
This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. All right, we got a special guest, Mr. Kenny Wilhite. I want to maximize the time we got with him, so we're going to get right straight to him. My man, I want to know right out the gate, what was it that brought you back to Lincoln?
I'm huge on family. I have 2 young kids here, and my girlfriend's here. Her name is Holly. And then my kids are Jack and Collins. They're 10 and 6, and Jack's in every sport. Like I hear you talk about your kids.
Yep.
So I'm a sideline parent. I don't say nothing, but I just go to games and then watch.
Dude, I'm one of the quietest parents. And then other parents who are very vocal look at me like, why ain't you into it? I'm like, because I know what that's like, and you need to be more quiet.
And that's exactly so other parents and coaches be like, why don't you help coach? Nope, I'm a parent.
Yep.
And I don't say nothing. I just listen and I watch, and I'm like, Jesus, people. Just let your kids be kids and have fun.
Dude, youth sports is
crazy.
We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But all right, man, let's look at this from that's a long rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And there are some good people in youth sports, to be clear. All right. So if you're Tony White, yeah, the defense had a rough game versus UCLA. For the most part, you've played well. You've had some rough times at particular times, but as an overall whole, you've been by far the best unit on this team as a defense. They're bringing in a defensive consultant. And I'm going to repeat a stat I shared yesterday. Matt RHULE and his staff have yet to win a game here at Nebraska when the defense allows more than 14 points. Haven't won a single game. That's a lot of pressure on the defense. How do you think like Tony White feels right now with the pressure and a defensive consultant being brought in?
I'm not going to sugarcoat this.
You don't have to.
I would be offended. I would be kind of pissed off because I know the product we put out there.
Yeah.
For 9 weeks.
One of the top 20 defenses
one of the top
in the
20
country.
defenses in the country.
Yep.
Now, did we struggle last week? Yes. Did we play hard against Ohio State and hold a number 1, number 2 team in the country to what we did? Yes. Have we been up and down? Yes. But we're still in the top 20. And it's hard for a defense in the day of college football with all the RPOs and everything you get thrown at you as a defense to hold a team to 14 to 20 points a game. It's hard. Now, and like I told you off air, and I don't want to revert back to our era, but Charlie McBride would say, I don't give a crap where they get the ball. He used a different word, but
I figured.
I don't give a crap where they get the ball. Let's stop them. And that was our mentality. So do I think that that's the mentality of the team and Tony White's defense? I'm sure it is. But it's hard to keep putting in those situations and be successful.
Just for comparison, our defense now ranks 17th in the country. They were 16th before the UCLA game. Our offense is 99th in the country, just for comparison. So, and then obviously the special teams has, been nothing to write home about. But I want to get back to the talent conversation because you've got relationships with a lot of the players in the locker room. You were a part of the recruiting process. You were one of the point men for high school coaches and high school players. Because to me, I look at, we got coaches that are top 20 paid coaches in the country. Satterfield's tied for 8th in the country. RHULE is 20th in the country, right behind Dan Lanning and Kirk Ferentz of Oregon and Iowa. We have top 20 recruiting classes more often than not. People come at me sometimes and they're like, Adam, you're crazy. You think Nebraska's way more talented than they are. You would know even better than I would. Is it fair to say that Nebraska, I think of Oregon, I think of Ohio State, I think of Penn State, Michigan, USC. Is it fair to say Nebraska is probably about 6 when it comes to most talented teams in the Big Ten?
Name those schools again.
So Oregon, let's see, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, USC. I would probably put Nebraska 6. I don't know who I'd put above Nebraska at that point. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
I didn't think so, but you would know.
You're not wrong. Again, like you said, there's still some guys on that roster that I helped recruit. Proud of them to this day. And a lot of the walk-ons.
Yes.
That are starting.
That was a key area for you.
Yes. That are starting.
Like John Bullock, is he one of them?
Yes.
All right.
He and his brother.
Okay.
They're starting.
Yep.
And I can go back years past where we had, I think we were playing Oregon. There was 7 walk-ons starting on offense.
I remember that.
So, excuse me. So there's talent.
Yeah.
Are you getting the best of the talent? No, you got to put kids in situations to be successful. Again, I'm going to go back to the offense. Certain kids should not be thrown bubble screens. Certain kids should not run fly sweep. That's just not what they're built for. But you continue to see it, and that's not utilizing your talent to the best.
So you're right. Having talent is one thing. Having size, having highly recruited players is one thing. Developing them is another thing. Putting them in the right spots to maximize the talent you have is a whole nother thing. So when I say, hey, we should be in the top third in the Big Ten win-loss record rise, that's fair. When I say we should be in the top 20 or 25 in the country win-loss record wise, that's fair. And I'm not just cuckoo crazy.
No.
I am cuckoo crazy, but not just cuckoo crazy, right?
No, you're not. You're not. Again, with all the resources.
Yes, the resources and
the
everything.
Facilities we have.
Yes.
The
support.
Now, I always say it looks good on paper.
Yep.
Even when I was in that role, it looks good on paper.
Got to happen.
When we get them here, what are we doing with them?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I can go back to a running back under a certain regime that was very, very talented, but other things they was allowed to do hampered him and the team.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say talented, I'm going to say it, Maurice Washington. He was.
Oh, man.
He was, but.
I still remember his run up the left side against Colorado, like it was yesterday.
Yes. So.
Or was that a swing pass?
It was
swing pass.
Swing pass, yeah. But talented individual.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching, right?
Yep.
So again, it looks good on paper. What are you going to do when you get them here? We say develop. Nowadays, you can't keep using the word develop because there's a transfer portal, and you can't miss in the portal. You cannot miss in the portal because other schools aren't missing.
Did we miss this year in a few spots?
Yes. Yes.
Be hard to argue with that. All right, man, we probably got about a minute left, and I want to give the floor to you. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to, I know it's not a lot of time, so I'll be quiet, but whatever you want to say or any final thoughts you have, how about that?
No, I mean, again, like a lot of former players and myself and just fans in general, we just want to see a good product on the field. I'm going to support the university. I'm going to support the kids. I just want to see a good product on the field, and I don't want to hear, if you get asked a tough question, you take a big and a laugh. You're getting paid too much to not have an answer.
So I do want to make something clear, and we did talk about this a little bit before we came back on air, like our loyalty university, the program, the state, the fans, like that matters to us. And when you love something, the hardest thing to do is express tough love sometimes. But if you want to bury your head in the ground, it's just going to get worse and worse, which is why I try to be as honest as I can. Doesn't mean I'm always right. You came on, we're very honest today, and I appreciate that for you. But I just wanted to make sure that people understand that that's our position.
Yes. I mean, we're not bashing.
No.
I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm not trying to, put blame anywhere. Like I said, I just want to see a good product because my loyalty is to that university.
Yes.
The kids in their locker room, the people that came before me, and the people that are going to continue to come. That's my loyalty.
Absolutely.
And I just want to see a good brand of football.
I'm with you, man. I want to give you the chance to say throw the bones. So until next time, Husker Nation, go Big Red. And always remember,
throw the bones.
I love it, dude. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
By Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything